You mentioned massage. Is there a certain type of massage that you would recommend?
Oh, I love Lomi massage. I think it's fantastic. I
agree.
actually haven't what do you call it? Technically learned, or whatever. I do my own version of that, but it's a sensual massage.
Your version of Lomi would be what? Because let's explain for those who don't know what it is, because I have got to experience the Lomi massage numerous times. And from my experience of it, it's they take every limb, your legs, your arms, and it's like a dance to it, and they shake and rock it.
Yes, it's very flowing.
It's moving and flowing, and it basically releases all the tension in such a quick manner. It's unbelievable. So your variation of it would be?
Well, I do my best to do that, what you just described. It's very flowing, and the dance is what I like, and it's very aligned with the sensual energy that's present, or that I'm wanting to encourage to be present.
The way that we would move and rock and pelvic thrusting, you're sort of facilitating that to happen in the person.
Yes. So it's a massage that includes the entire body, and I listen to how they feel for areas that are more sensitive, private. There's always a checking in and a respect about boundaries. If something is not wanted, it doesn't happen. But the purpose of it is to actually, especially in the sexual healing part of what I do, the purpose is to get the energy engaged, because that's where often the telltale signs of the wounding will appear. And it's only then that we can directly address what's wounded them or what's going on for them. And the other part of what I do, the erotic enrichment aspect, happens once the healing has occurred and the energy is released. It's often that part of their body is unfamiliar to the sensual sexual energy moving them and feeling empowered by that. So the erotic enrichment aspect of it helps that part of them to feel it again and to be awakened and alive again. And so that's another aspect of the massage.
For those who are listening to us and saying, this sounds to be like it's going to be very difficult, because that's naturally where the mind goes a lot. And you knowing and I knowing that it's not difficult, in fact it's so effortless. It's almost returning back to childhood. In the playground, there's an experiential beingness there. And if they could return back to that remembrance of that, would that be a good analogy of what your work would be like?
Yes, that's very good. In fact, returning to the sense of innocence as a child is really what happens when you're able to clear these things out of you.
Returning back to the innocence of the purity where before, when all the problems were there, not looking at it as problems, but looking at it as the experience.
Exactly. And what I was going to say was the person who's watching this, who thinks maybe this is difficult to do, I would just say that if your body is telling you something, if your awareness is prompting you to look at something that's going on for you, that's holding you back, then you're probably ready to start this process. Not everybody's ready. But if you've got something telling you that I have an issue, I have a challenge, I have something I'd really like to clear, then you're probably ready to start the process. And the process is incremental. For people that need a slow start and small steps, it's very possible that that's what we do. That is what we will do. For those who feel more ready and maybe have more experience with doing some self-work, growth work, or have worked with other counselors and things, it's possible to start and do things a little faster. So the whole process is tailored to the needs of the person. And I would just say, if you're feeling like there's an issue or something going on for you, then yes, you're probably ready to take a look at this and start healing.
And what actually is the process? How simple and beautiful is it for the person to go through it, to start?
The first step would be for them to contact me through my website, Sunyata Satchitananda.com. And there's a contact form where they can tell me what's going on for them. And I receive that and then give them a call or write back to them, and we'll set up a session, a first session. And typically in my first sessions, usually my sessions are around 2 hours, some are 3. But in the first session, I take a much longer period of time to just get to know them and to allow them to feel comfortable and to relax and to get a sense of who I am and how I can help them. And so there'll be an extended period of that before we get into anything else. But the rest of the process is also very easy. Just things like eye gazing, breathing together, doing some movement together, some dance together, some very simple touch and things like that. It doesn't have to be overly intimate or invasive right away. And it's again tailored to their process, their needs, what they're able to absorb and handle. And we just go steadily from there. There's a constant checking in, there's a constant evaluation that's happening both during and after sessions and in between, so that there's an allowance for things to come up, an allowance for issues to be looked at. No one is ever feeling like they're pushed into something or needing to acquiesce or give in to anything. And yeah, it's just a very respectful and conscious process.
On the very experiential.
Yes, definitely.
Is it possible to do these sessions via Skype if the person is in places and cannot come to you physically?
Yes, actually I have done those sessions via Skype with people in the UK and Australia. So yes, it is.
And how would that work? They could do the eye gazing with Skype, and you can still be as if you're in the room, but you're not, and you're asking them to do certain things, and they're in the presence, and you can see each other in the Skype. So
that's exactly it. The difference being...
Is there any great difference in how the effectiveness would be of that?
Well, that's hard to say without comparing it with them being present with me, the same person, because everybody's different. But there is definitely a different experience not being with them physically. And I think the effectiveness is still there. Again, it's what they're ready for. So a lot of times just the intention and some discussion and getting some feedback from somebody who has some experience and knows some different things can just make a lot happen.
On a final note, is there something that you'd like to share with others about your work, about Tantra, and about being a healer?
Well, my prayer is for everyone to feel fully empowered in their spiritual, sexual, integrated experience and expression. For men to wake up to the wonderment and amazement of being much more than the limitations that the patriarchal dynamic puts on them. And for women to feel that they're not suppressed and that they can have the fullness of their power sexually and sensually in their life and who they are. And so I just encourage everybody to look at that and see if there's a place in your life where there's something that you can do to change what's going on for you that's a problem or an issue or a challenge for you in your relationship, in your experience of intimacy, in your spiritual, sensual, sexual expression.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. And thank you, The Art of Conscious Living. We'll see you next time.